When I was informed that I was getting divorced, I was hurt, angry, and confused, but I was very clear about one thing. I was terrified by the idea of hiring lawyers, fighting about it, and dragging it through the court to make it as long and as painful and as expensive as possible. I thought that going to a lawyer to teach me about divorce was like going to a used car salesman and saying, "Hey, can you teach me to drive?" Now look, before we go any further, I just got to say, I'm not going to be giving you legal advice. This is the disclaimer. Why? There's a bunch of reasons. Number one, I'm not a lawyer. Number two, every divorce is different. Number three, every state is different. Of course, many of the states have things in common, but the specifics are important. That said, you want to know what my opinion is of the number one mistake that people make when they get divorced? They split up first and then they get divorced. What happens is you start off with two opposing camps, and then you get two lawyers that are going to be your knights in shining armor that are going to go to battle and fight about it for you and spend up all your money and take you to court. And honestly, I didn't think that I was strong enough to do that. Look, I get it. It seems like it makes sense. That's how most people do it. They have a fight or somebody's cheating on somebody and they walk out and then they get divorced. I made the same mistake myself the first two times. The third time, we knew it was coming. We had shouted talking, but that was talking. We had talked about our divorce before we split up my third time. Yes. Yeah, there was shouting. Look, I'm not sure where you are in your divorce process, but a lot of people think that the divorce is a way to make amends for something in the past, or to fix it, or to make it even, or to make everything right that was wrong. But it's really not about any of those things. It's only about your future. How are you going to be set up for the future? One of the things that I want to make clear is all the stuff that's happening around the divorce and the kids and the stuff and the house and the blah, 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 what anybody did, okay. What the judge cares about, what the state cares about, is only very specific. The state and the judge cares about your marriage as a business transaction, as a business agreement, which means the money, the house, the car, the debt, and the other products of your state-approved partnership, kids. Other things, emotional issues, honestly, the state, the court doesn't care about that one bit, and they can't help you with that. All they can help you with is dividing up the stuff and making sure you do that reasonably equitably and reasonably fairly. That's what the judge is looking for. You can either get there yourself, or you can have other people decide for you. Personally, I found it much more comforting to have more control and to do that work with my soon-to-be ex rather than leave it up to other people. That scared me. Doing it with my ex, uncomfortable, but at least I kind of knew what I was getting into, and they were all reasonable people, and we worked it out. So the alternative, my crazy idea, is to get divorced before you split up. What do I mean by that? Do your divorce together. Do some research together, talk about it together, and figure it out together. And along the way, if you want to hire some lawyers or some mediators or some accountants or some child care specialists, you can hire those people to help you. You can hire those people to help you figure out what's the best thing for you too, for your kid. There's no reason you should just know. You know, all these things are complicated. The money, the house, the retirement plan, child support, visitation, school, traveling. Under the best circumstances, two parents or two people would have a difficult time sorting all this stuff out. But these are not the best circumstances. You guys are getting divorced, and at least one of you is really upset about it. Or maybe you're not, and that would be okay too. Do some research. Check out the laws that are specific to your state, and also buy some books and do some reading. Now, Nolo.com publishes a whole bunch of books for DIY legal things, including divorce, and I think they have 7 different divorce books. divorce over 50, divorce and money, divorce and retirement plans, divorce and making sure that you're really doing the best thing for your kids, how to do your own divorce. Nolo.com, I'll put some information right down in the description. That's a good place to get up-to-date books on understanding the legal process that you're going through. The other thing you can do is to do a Google search on collaborative divorce in your area. Now, collaborative divorce means you do it together, but you also do your divorce with a team. Like I was saying before, you hire maybe one accountant, one realtor, one child care specialist, and those people help advise you on how to make a good decision, what's right for your family. The other way, your lawyer hires an accountant and a realtor and a pension specialist and a child specialist, and you pay for all of those. And then your spouse also hires all the same people, and you pay for those too. And then those two teams of experts produce results designed and paid for by you to be as far apart as possible so that you can fight about what's in the middle, and that's what you're going to have to ask the judge to decide. By the way, this to me is the big issue. What I'm talking about may sound difficult and scary, and it probably is. You can get help. That's the good news. But the other alternative, wow, that terrified me. That story is that you and your spouse and your different teams of lawyers and experts go to court, and you start to tell the judge what the other person did, what you think you should get, and you're far apart and you're trying to struggle. Then the judge doesn't know you, doesn't know your kids, doesn't know your situation, doesn't know anything. And now you have lawyers telling stories, making accusations, all that stuff. Wow, that's how it gets expensive. And that's how it gets painful, and that's how it actually may be worse for kids to fight about it that way, to prolong the agony. My point is, it's not necessarily easy, but it is in your interest to get educated and to learn some things for yourself, whether you use lawyers to fight about it or not. You're going to be okay. This is DreamDivorce.tv. Love your divorce for the rest of your life, because you can do that.